they'll kick it away from him. On the move from inside his 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Scanning the field, it's Adams. Fires to the wideout. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
And the Cardinals line up trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. They'll try to get the first through the air. Nice job to get it past the sticks, and they get him down at the 35.
Really nice job there by the quarterback, understanding that it's zone coverage on 3rd down. You're going to have to find someone working into a soft spot, get the ball out of your hands quickly, make an accurate throw, and pick up the first. Well done.
The Cardinals will snap it on 1st and 10. Wants to throw on 1st down. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Give to the running back. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the 1st down line?
And that run really didn't go anywhere. A lot of times we don't focus on it enough. How important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Unloads to the right. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Louisville has it back on the offense, coming out ready to attack. Finding themselves down 7-0, men will have to get a drive going here. Use the play fake. Now he misses his man. The accuracy just not what it needed to be on that play.
Yeah, just not able to connect that time with his target. In breaking route, got to have a little bit better rhythm. You know these windows are going to be small over the middle of the field, and that's why you try to put some extra mustard on it, but I think that time that's what forced the incomplete.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. Dropping back, it's Adams. Out in the backfield, it's Wheeler. Brought down at the 16-yard line, and that will likely bring out the punt team.
Well, they weren't able to gain a lot of real estate on that last completion deep down in their own end. If anything, if you're looking for a silver lining, I guess the punter maybe has a little bit more room to try to get one off now on 4th.
Fields the punt and tries to work it the other way. Little pressure on the coverage team there, and they'll stop him at the 47-yard line. So the SMU Mustangs offense will get the ball for the first time. And, David, they've got a guy in the backfield that certainly is capable of carrying more than his share of the weight in this offensive attack.
Yeah, he's a piece, but I would argue this, Reese. Like, you need to get the ground game going. For this offense to be successful, they need a physical tone setter, and he can be that, sometimes up, sometimes down. They need that consistently, Jesse.
They need him to show up when it matters the most, and there's going to be times in this game like we've seen throughout his career.
A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
Finally brought down at the 31. It's a pickup of 15 yards on the play, and they've got a first down.
You ain't getting by all these guys right up the middle unless your offensive line and your tight ends and everybody is putting in the work up front, committing to blocking. The running back does a great job finding the hole, exploding through. How about that nice, big, huge gain? If I'm the OC, let's go out again.
And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. So now it's second and long. Off the play fake. Can't find the man, and he'll be knocked down at the 40. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Now they'll run it to the right here. The Mustangs decide to punt it away. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Sends his first one of the day on its way, and that matches the number of appearances he had in that win last week. The Louisville offense is headed back out on the field. We'll see if they can be a little more productive this time around. A 3-and-out the last time they had the ball. Looking for space. It starts. Not much there. They'll give him one to the 14.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Power football with the run. Works his way into the traffic and picks up 3 to the 17.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Moves it in. It's Weaver. Really needed a play like that to get out of their own end. They move the chains. They mark it at the 29.
Third down, understanding exactly where the sticks are. You know, you got to stop certain routes so they don't get to certain depths. Quarterback completes and gets another first down. Got to be a little bit more mindful of where those sticks are.
From the gun, running back on the move. And there was nowhere to go. Just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
I just think such a big part of this offense is being physical and establishing the run game. They haven't had a lot of success offensively early in this one, and that's why right there. They're not able to get this guy going yet. That's got to change as this game goes on.
Catch in the middle. It's Weaver. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
These are simple routes, the drag routes that go across the field, but they actually can turn into huge plays. You see all the speed on the outside and out wide receiver. You get in his hands quick, you go make a play, make one guy miss, and maybe next time he can make an even bigger game.
And the Cardinals will send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. They make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. The Mustangs have the ball back and ready to go to work. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Wants to adjust the pattern. Picks up a useful 5-yard chunk after the 30-yard line.
nice first down run, and you're seeing why this running back is an every down type. He can run between the tackles, he can run outside.
Nice pickup on the ground there. They'll move the sticks for the first down.
And that is just an attitude run, running it right up the middle, right into the teeth of that defense.
Here comes the offense on 1st and 10 from the 47. Hand off to the single running back. That's up the first down. There to make the tackle, and that's how we'll wrap up this first period. That's the end of the period, and SMU has the lead. And after that first quarter, let's see if these guys can get back in the game in the second. So first down here as they go back to work. Right back to the left. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
And I tell you what, no secret on this drive. This offense, they're not trying to maintain balance. They're trying to line up and just dot you right in the eyes. 4 straight runs, get the first down, and really start to play physical.
I don't know if that's the coverage you want to be throwing wide receiver screens against. Oftentimes, you want the receivers to have some access. You want the DBs to be off a couple of yards so you can help set up the blocks and give the receiver somewhere to go with it. It's hard to run that against press coverage, and they only picked up a few yards there.
Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a third down stop.
Yeah, and that's a really good job by the defense, because when you get in that third and medium area, listen, you got to be worried about the run and the pass. Did a good job playing ball, got it stopped, got force in the fourth.
And that is a nifty bit of navigation to get through that traffic and get the first down. And the Mustangs come to the line with a new set of downs. Looking downfield, it's Griffin. I don't think that's the way they drew it up. Incomplete.
There's a lot of QBs that when they get hit and when they get hurried and when they get pressured, they become very average. Really nice job by the defense, pressure in the quarter.
And back to the air on second down. Catch in the middle, it's Moncrief. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground covered. Pick up the first. Quite a bit of work to do on third down from the 23, and this D would love to force a field goal try. He leaves it with the back. He's going to come up about 5 yards short of the line to gain. And they'll send out the field goal unit. He'll try to knock it through from 38 yards out. That thing would have hit a string in the middle of the uprights. Perfect. And that will extend their lead even further.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
On the run from inside his own 5. He's out of bounds at his own 15-yard line, looking for running room and couldn't find much on that return. Louisville has it back in the offense, coming out ready to attack. They really need to find a way to generate some kind of offense down 10-0. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Near the marker, it's Mitchell. They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's first down. Last completion moved the sticks, and let's see if they try it again. Caught over the middle, it's Mitchell. Good pick up there as he gets the first down, and they'll mark him at the 48.
The biggest rule change for me, if I could make one in all of college football, would be illegal man downfield. And when they run these RPO plays and those linemen start to creep further and further down the field, I would love for the refs to call those more often. It's a cheating play, basically, running these RPOs. So hard to stop. Nice execution by the offense, but probably cheating too.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Pulls it and fires to the left. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you, the offense might be setting up a shot down the field here. You might see them later fake the wide receiver screen and see if they can hit a tight end or another receiver running up the boundary. Keep your eye open for that.
Finds his man. It's Wheeler. Really nice job to convert that third down, and they've got it at the 33. Finally, this offense starting to shake the cobwebs and get things moving. It's 1st and 10. Grab over the middle. It's Anderson. There we go. He stopped just a chain link or two away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here. The Cardinals come to the line. This situation, you might say a shot play. Got it in the middle. It's Mitchell. Headed to the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals! Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone.
It's so nice as a quarterback when it's not just your receivers that are dangerous after the catch. How about the yak ability by this tight end? He's a guy that can stretch the field. He can make DBs miss, and he's got speed. He's a generational talent. He's really helping out this offense.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. If you can do that, I don't know why you don't do it every time. Reduce the risk. Banged it out of the back of the end zone. They'll put it in play at the 25. 3 tight ends in the formation on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground to the right. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Going to the ground. Surges across the 30, out to the 32, a 6-yard run.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
The Mustangs come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. They'll take this lead to the 2-minute timeout and see if they can tack on a little more before the break. Faced with a 3rd and short from their own 32 to keep this drive alive. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the 1st down. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the 1st half. Nice job to make the fair catch at the 16. Make sure that ball didn't bounce into the coffin corner. The Louisville offense is headed back out on the field. This is a game of swings and momentum, and a great opportunity here after scoring on the last drive, getting a stop, and now you have the football back.
They're playing well right now.
You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the 1st down play. Quick tempo, no huddle offense. 2nd down, clock's running. Back to pass, it's Adams. Just missed on the connection, incomplete.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the 1st half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the 2nd half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Snap from the gun on 3rd down. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. And the Cardinals will punt this one away. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Takes it on the return. And the punt team able to sling him to the ground. They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. Off the play fake on 1st down, the throw. And wait to the left. They make the tackle at the 36, but they're in plus territory now with the 15-yard pickup. The offense calls a timeout to stop the clock. They've got it at the 36 on 1st and 10. Looking downfield on 1st down. Makes the grab. It's Brown. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be 2nd and just a few breaths away from the 1st down. Back to throw, time running short in the half. Gets it to him on the screen. He's got it out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 6-yard line, and this defense has to be reeling.
You can just minutes, he's been picking this defense apart, matriculating the ball down the field. He's now got him in the red zone, close to the goal line. I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep letting him throw it.
And the Mustangs have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. Keeps it on the bootleg, looking to throw. Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
And that is the play this defense had to have. Did you look in the secondary right there? I mean, he was open, guys. Like, that would have been a touchdown, and this defense got to the quarterback, hit him as he's throwing the football, forced the errant pass, and dodged a bullet.
They'll mark him down at the 2. The excellent execution on that throw and catch. Wide receiver comes in motion. They'll run it on 3rd and goal. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Mustang.
You know, there's so many coaches out there in 2-minute situations at the end of the half with their lead that'll just be happy taking the lead into halftime. This guy's staying aggressive, though. Pedal to the metal, David, and you saw it paid off there for the touchdown.
Yeah, and let's finish this half now. Now, we got a nice lead. Built a little bit of a lead, but the defense has to go back out there. There's still a little bit of time. So get that stop to keep that momentum you just got, and everybody will be jacked up at halftime.
Louisville has it back in the offense, coming out ready to attack. Now you find out just how much of a gunslinger you are. Will you roll the dice here late in the half, Dave?
And you know the defense is going to be really, really conservative, so I think it's an opportunity to be able to take a shot, see how much of a chunk you can get before then you decide really, Jesse, how you want to finish the half.
Just can't turn it over and throw a pick if you're the quarterback here. You have got to be so smart if you're going to be aggressive with your decision.
Dropping back, it's Adams. Rushes on him. This time he's got his man. The defense burns their 3rd and final timeout of the half. Running out of time here in the 1st half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense. The Cardinals send out the punt unit. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. We're just about ready to start the 2nd half. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. The SMU offense is headed back onto the field. They've got the big fellas out there, a 3 tight end look on 1st and 10. Through the defense. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground. They've got it at the 36. It's a 1st and 10. They'll try the toss to the left. You want to make sure to maximize those types of runs, and he gets it out to the 41.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They're trying.
Oh, he's got some space. And he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, SMU. They've extended the lead and taken control here in week 9.
Huge play. It's so nice to have guys that can create these explosive plays like this. You hand it to him, he can do the rest. Look at the speed. Look at the elusiveness. Get into the end zone. Nice run.
He'll start the return inside his 5. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. The Louisville offense is headed back out on the field. After giving up that score, now it's incumbent on this offense to kind of get a back and forth going, Jesse, in this game.
You got to put some points on the board here. There's obviously a lot of football to go, so it's not necessarily panic time just yet, but I'm getting the ball into the hands of my best playmakers on this drive.
I hear you, Jesse, but not panic time. And you see my defense? I mean, I'm not trusting them to get a lot of stops, so it puts a lot of pressure on this offense.
This is got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much this season, but just nothing doing. They have not been good enough in the trenches so far.
Snag in the middle, it's Mitchell. And he's got enough for the first down. It'll be at the 35.
Great job by the offense. Listen, if the defense is going to sit back in zone, you know what you got to do. Run those crossers across the formation. Those guys that are looking at the quarterback, they're not trying to pick up receivers all the time. Make those precise throws, right in those holes, get those first downs, get those big chunks.
Coming out on first down with the play fake. Throws for the tight end. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit. First down, second down coming.
This is a situation here in the third quarter this offense did not want to be in, facing a top 10 defense, one of the best units in the entire country. They didn't want to get down on the scoreboard like this and all of a sudden have to throw the football when the defense knew that was going to happen. The incompletion there is not a big surprise. This defense knows what's coming, and it's all because of the points right now on the scoreboard.
Guys, this offense is already reeling down multiple possessions. Really need to cash in on this drive. Grabbed in the middle, it's Wheeler. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on third down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
Right down the middle. Oh, he drops the football. He had him right down the gut of the field. Instead, it'll be second down. And here comes play number 6 of the drive. From the shotgun, they'll run it. He's stopped again, and he's had a busy night, if not necessarily a productive one so far. 7th play of the drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Looking to throw, it's Adams. Fires left. Hit it where only his man could get it and gave him enough room to get the foot down. And they just want to give this guy a chance to make a play on third down, and more times than not, he is going to deliver.
And he's so good, so efficient, such a good route runner, got the speed, got the complete game, so you definitely want to highlight it, and especially on those downs that matter the most. If something's not open quick underneath, find him, he'll make those contested catches.
And they pick up just a few on that completion.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Has to go up top. Buying some time. Nice move to pick up yardage.
It's going to be tough on this defense containing this guy because he's got that sixth sense to get outside the pocket, and at that point, he's throwing it and hurting you, or you can take off and run. That time able to get the first down. Big challenge for the defense moving forward.
He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. First and goal from the 8. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And the Cardinals will try to put one on the board on first and goal. This has been happening all night. They stubbornly keep giving him the ball, and the defense is all over him. Can the D deny them on second and goal? The run-up is trying to power to the goal line. We've seen a ton of this tonight. They just keep giving him the ball, and he keeps running into brick walls. Not much running room again. touchdowns, 24-10.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting him out there.
And he takes this from inside the 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. They'll snap the ball. First play of the drive coming from their own 24. Crosses the 30 to the 31 on a 6-yard pickup.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down, but they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in second and short, not a good job by this defense.
The Mustangs come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. He just needed a yard on 3rd down, and there just wasn't any room to pick it up. And here comes the punt team. Fair catch is collected at the 24, and that's where they'll start this drive. Louisville has it back on the offense, coming out ready to attack. They're going to have to be more aggressive in this drive. You can't expect to win this one, David, kicking field goals.
No, especially when you're trailing. You got to have a little more urgency and maybe a little more aggressiveness, Jesse. And field goals are not going to get it done down the stretch.
Yeah, you're going to have to take some shots, no doubt. Bottom line, when plays present themselves, you just simply got to make them.
Wants to throw. It's Adams. And the shot way downfield falls harmlessly to the turf, and we've played 3 quarters. That's the end of the period, and SMU has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. With the break, they had a little extra time to dial something up this 3rd down play. He'll pull it on the read. Tackle is made at the 25-yard line, and that'll bring up a 4th down. The Cardinals will line up to punt it away. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return. Gets a little bit of ground for the offense. The Mustangs have the ball back and ready to go to work. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead. The offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
One back in the backfield, he gets the carry. Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. 4th quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They already have a comfortable lead, up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a 1st down.
And that's the challenge for this defense, man. It starts to get later in the ball game. That clock is not your friend. You're losing the football game. They got to meet the physical challenge of this run game.
Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football. You preserve the lead. You got great field position. You're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
They go to the ground. Stop just inside the 30 at the 29. It's a 10-yard pickup and a 1st down. And the Mustangs are on the move. To the air, it's Griffin. Quickly complete.
This offense is not letting up, guys. They've got a lead here late, and they are still taking shots. They're still looking for for explosive plays. This defense just has not had an answer here all game long.
Leaves it with the running back. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
They want to throw. Wide open downfield. How about the zip this junior put on that ball to pick up the first down? Boy, the defense really needed to get off the field there, and they just couldn't do it, and it's a fresh set of downs.
Man, that hurts. When you're trailing late in the ball game, you need those stops, and you get them to third down. You get them to those critical points, and now they get the first down. You don't have many left. You better get aggressive.
Operating in the red zone here on second down.
29 Philly. 2-9 Philly.
They'll run it to keep this clock grinding. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game right.
Touchdown, Mustang! They extend this lead, and it looks as if they are going to make it 2 wins in a row. And the extra point splits the uprights, and they're up a full 3 touchdowns, a 21-point cushion in the fourth. And he passes on the touchback. Here he comes. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. The Louisville offense is headed back out on the field. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, hoping for better fortune this time around. To throw, it's Adams. Sends it complete to the right.
Here's the deal. You're down 3 possessions. You know, it doesn't feel likely they're going to come back and win, but we've seen crazier stuff happen in college football. It all starts with a big completion on a 2-minute drive. They'll get the momentum started in the direction.
And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains.
Well, the defense makes the tackle. They give up the first down. They've now got to communicate the next play call. They can't substitute because the offense is going fast.
Got it in the middle. It starts. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
Well, and here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field, rally to make a tackle, and bleed the clock. It's going to be hard now for this offense to claw their way back in this one.
It's third down from their own 34 as they try to keep the drive moving. From the gun, wants to pass. Catch in the middle, it's Crispin. Really nice job there to pick up the first down and get it to their own 41.
And it's tough on the defense there. Third down, you're in zone coverage. Everybody's watching the quarterback, and you're trying to make a break on the ball, but he just got it out of his hands too quickly, and the throw was too accurate. Really nothing you can do there, and it's now a fresh set of downs.
And this is always the time in the game where coaches are absolutely watching. Like, which one of my guys mail it in and quit? And if you're the quarterback, man, you've been sacked a few times, you've turned the football over, like, continue to...
Breaks into the open. They get this sophomore on the ground, but he continues to make plays. Clock stops, and we've reached the 2-minute timeout. This offense looking for anything to cut into this big lead. And the Cardinals getting set on 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Mitchell. And that is good versatility there, and a big hit from the backer in pass coverage. Back to throw, it's Adams. Got his man downfield. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather. It's now 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Use the play fake, now a throw. Caught in the backfield, it's bumped. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set.
Like, it is hard to put all the facets of defense together. Run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in, you could tell. They were ready. They were fast. They were physical. They dominated this football game.
From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on third down. Knocked away, incomplete in the end zone.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops, just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
On fourth down, they'll try to throw. And this will fall incomplete, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Offensively, this is a beautiful time now because now I get to get all my other guys in the game. Guys that don't get to play that much, we're up. This game's over after that miss.
There he goes! They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
That's got to be demoralizing if you're the defense. You're trailing. You need to get the ball back. You got to get off the field, but you can't stop the run when they're going between the tackles. This defense is going to have to get a lot more physical, especially in the middle.
This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. Picked up 2 yards on that last one